Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with another SoundJack's Rambles. And today I'm joined by Alyssa.
Yes, who's back?
Yeah, we
Back
are
again.
back.
Guess
The
who's
boys
back?
are back
SoundJack
in
back.
town.
Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Nah. Eminem's great. Okay.
Anyway,
Great,
apologies for being gone for so long with literally no updates at all. No, not even any podcasts at all for 2 months, which even when I've been in my not really posting reviews stage, the podcasts were usually pretty consistent. Long story short, there were a lot of scheduling conflicts early on and a lot of storms early on that prevented recording, and then there were a lot of personal things later on that were getting in the way of recording. So apologies. I'm not going to go into too many specifics. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me talking about some of that. But if you were really missing us, you could have checked us out on our shared gaming channel, RDSJ Gaming, where we are currently where we finished our playthrough of the Transformers on the PS2. So you can go just binge watch all of that, and you can check out our new playthrough of Pokemon Colosseum.
Yeah, and considering the fact you clicked on this video, you probably like Pokemon, which means you'll probably like that playthrough.
Very true, very true. So, yes. What are we talking about today? We're talking about a movie that came out nearly 2 months ago, and we're so far behind.
We're totally not late to the party.
No, absolutely not. And next week we definitely also won't be late to the party because we won't be talking about Endgame next week because we definitely already talked about that. But anywho. We are here today to talk about Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Not Detective Pikachu the video game, but Pokemon Detective Pikachu the movie.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
So, as we always do, let's talk about how familiar we were about this in advance. And we are familiar with Pokemon, but how familiar were we with Detective Pikachu? Alyssa? How familiar were you of the detectating Pikachu?
So the spinoff titles for Pokemon are kind of hit and miss with me in terms of my engagement with them. There are some spinoff properties I'm super into. Like, I really love the Mystery Dungeon games. I've played pretty much... No, I haven't played every one of them. I've played Explorer of Time and Darkness, and I've also played Super Mystery Dungeon. I'd never played the originals, and I didn't play the Sky one, I think. But I feel like Explorers of Sky was kind of...
Swords of Sky was like the Emerald or the Platinum of those games, of the Time and Darkness.
So I didn't, miss a huge leap, so to speak. So I've played all of the, most of the major releases in that series. So I'm pretty... So that's one. If they announce a new Mystery Dungeon game, I'll be like, I'm in.
But aren't you excited for Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon?
No, I'm really not. I'm not into Final Fantasy. I'm not that I wouldn't play Final Fantasy. I do actually own a couple Final Fantasy games. But
it's literally the same thing, just with a different skin.
I know, but still.
I completely agree with you.
I'm not interested. Anyway, so the Mystery Dungeon series, I think, for me at least, is the only spin-off title in the Pokemon video game series that I've been yes, all over. The other side spin-offs I mostly haven't played. Obviously, Pokemon Colosseum.
Pokemon Troze was my jam.
What was your jam?
Pokemon Troze.
Oh, remind me again what that was.
That was the one where you got all of the faces. It was basically a Candy Crush, but with Pokemon faces.
Oh, okay.
To put it bluntly, but it was before Candy Crush. because it was the first game I ever got on the DS, and I got the DS the year it came out or the year after, because I was getting ready for Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm. I think Diamond and Pearl was actually the first Pokemon game that I bought myself, as opposed to it being a loan from another person. Anyway,
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out 12 years ago, Alyssa.
I know.
We're old.
They were old boys.
Yeah.
But they're
anyway,
still good boys. So
Detective Pikachu.
Long story short, Detective Pikachu. Long story short, not very familiar with spin-off titles. Detective Pikachu is part of that. I remember watching and reading up on some of the things as Detective Pikachu was coming out, and everyone being super intrigued by it because it's pretty out there in terms of your normal Pokemon game.
Yeah.
It involves a talking Pikachu who does a murder thing. Who investigates.
Well, that's a very different film right there.
Yes. Just imagine it, but instead of Pennywise, it's just a Pikachu.
Or, Pikachu in a Deadpool outfit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's very viable.
Kill quite a few people. And they also share the same voice actor, so it works. So I haven't played Detective Pikachu. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I don't think it was a critical darling, nor do I think it was that super beloved by people.
I mean, it had a screwed up release.
Say that again?
I mean, it did have a screwed up release because it was supposed to come out in chapters, and then
oh yeah,
after waiting for years, it just kind of came out at once.
Yeah, so it's not like with Mystery Dungeon or the Colosseum or the GameCube games or some of the other spin-offs like Pokemon Pinball that have either are actually good games or have cult followings or something, or people like them for various reasons. I feel like Detective Pikachu the game was pretty meh in terms of how people reacted to it.
No, yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So now I was obviously going nuts when they released the trailer for Detective Pikachu
because it looks so good.
So, because I think so. Now that I guess before we move on to the video game park for a moment. What about your previous conceptions of the video game, of spin-offs and Detective Pikachu?
I mean, spin-offs. Like I said, I did the Trozes. I had the Colosseum and the XD on the GameCube. I got an XD Gale of Darkness skin on my GameCube.
He's that extra.
Yeah, I am that extra. And then I did the Ranger games. I did the Mystery Dungeon games. I did Conquest.
So you've definitely played a lot more of the spin-offs than I have.
Yeah. Well, the spin-offs are good, but again, the Detective Pikachu wasn't too particularly accessible until 3 years ago. And then I never bothered to pick it up because I don't know why I never bought a Pokemon spin-off title for the 3DS. My parents got me the Super Mystery Dungeon for the 3DS when I asked for it for my birthday to be ready for X and Y, but I didn't really play through all of that. I played some of it, but I lost interest pretty quickly, to be honest.
Yeah. I know, you and I have very different opinions on Super Mystery Dungeon.
Okay, I mean, I loved Red and Blue. I think I was doing Explorers at time until I got to a post-game dungeon where you're supposed to lead a Cresselia to the top of the mountain to fight Darkrai, but it's all fire types and ghost types, and I was a Turtwig with my partner Chimchar, and I was at level 80 something, and we couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
This is the worst. You can't evolve at that point. Yeah, it's after that dungeon you can evolve your Pokemon.
Oh, God.
I'm just.
I know. We'll probably talk about Mystery Dungeon another time, more detail. But
yeah, but I did not.
So you're more familiar, but I think we were both pretty not that keyed into Detective Pikachu on the whole.
Yeah.
At least in comparison. Okay, but now movie, before we actually talk about said Pikachu, the movie, I wanted to talk a little bit more about like our experiences with the Pokemon movies.
Yes.
Because that's a whole different thing. So for me, the only Pokemon movie that I really remember seeing, at least in my childhood, was Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin had it on VHS and we watched it a lot. And I think there was the sequel to Mewtwo Strikes Back, right?
No.
Well, the Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah.
Right, which is the one with Mewtwo and they're on the island and there's the clone.
But it had a subtitle.
Isn't Pokemon the first movie?
No, it's something else because like both of the names are puns on Star Wars movie titles.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Am I going crazy? Or is it?
So Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, which is the sequel, right? That's the sequel title.
No. Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Oh, okay. I knew one of them was called.
And
Mewtwo
then the
Strikes
sequel
Back.
is Pokemon Mewtwo Returns.
Okay.
That's it.
Mystery solved. So I've seen Mewtwo Strikes Back, saw Mewtwo Returns. I have a less memory of that. I think the only thing I remember is the Rocket Balls.
Mm-hmm.
And Giovanni's in it a little more, I think.
No, Giovanni's not in it at all. It's the Masked Marauder or something.
Oh, okay.
Who I remember people theorizing was actually Jesse and James. I remember hearing theories that like that dude was Jesse and James' son from the future or something.
What the hell?
Because he was trying to catch Celebi for.
Okay, no, but
No, wait, hold on, wait. Are we talking about the right movie?
We're talking about Mewtwo. We're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, Mewtwo. Okay, I jumped to the wrong movie. I was thinking.
I'm pretty sure Giovanni's in Mewtwo Returns,
and the Mewtwo
right?
Returns, Giovanni's in that one, but I don't know why my mind sidetracked over to Pokemon Forever.
Oh, okay. There are a lot of Pokemon movies.
There are. How many have you seen?
So the only ones I've seen, I think I've only seen 4 in their entirety, which is, again, Mewtwo Strikes Back, Mewtwo Returns.
Which isn't even
Pokemon
one
2000.
of the main Pokemon movies.
No, it's not. A Pokemon 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I've only seen that one once, and that was again at my cousin's house.
Yeah.
That one was, I think the most thing I remember most about it was the way they, like, hyped up Unknown.
No, that was the third one.
Isn't that Pokemon 2000?
No, the Pokemon 2000, the one with Lugia.
Oh, maybe I didn't see that one. Which is the one with Entei and the Unknown?
Pokemon 3, the Power of Unknown, or the Power of One.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm mixing up my names. So these are the ones I've seen.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Mewtwo Strikes Back, Mewtwo Returns, The Power of One, and I think the Celebi one was the last one I saw.
Yeah, Pokemon Forever.
That was Pokemon Forever. So
yep.
Pokemon Forever, which is the one with like not Gary Oak, Professor Oak,
yep.
and him as that was a very weird movie, and that's for a Pokemon movie. That was bizarre.
Yes.
Outside of those movies, I have not seen any other Pokemon movies. Mostly because it's not like the anime was never something I was super into.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch a handful of episodes. Like,
well, if you want to catch up, there's now over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I'm really eager to do that. I think the original Pokemon anime is what I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's the ones I definitely saw the first episode, and I definitely saw the one where Misty's like really creeped out by bug type Pokemon.
Yep.
And then I also remember the one with James and Jesse bringing out their Coffin and Arbok to fight whoever. And I think the Metapod was fighting them. Was that right?
Well, it was the Ekans and the Coughing at that point.
Right, Ekans and Coughing fighting the Metapod, I think.
Yeah.
Or the Caterpie, and that's how Misty learned that bug types were cool or something.
I mean, she didn't. She continued to hate bug types forever and ever, but.
Oh, man, I guess I'm giving the Pokemon anime too much credit here.
Yeah.
But those are the only 2 episodes I remember, because again, I didn't watch it all that much.
Okay.
I might have seen like bits and pieces of it other ways, but in short, I have interacted with Pokemon movies, but the thing about Detective Pikachu is that this is the first attempt at a
live action
movie, and also a big budget blockbuster.
Yes.
Because most of the other Pokemon movies, I don't know what the case is in Japan, but in the US, they're pretty much either direct-to-video releases or like limited theatrical runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not. You wouldn't see these movies in the runnings alongside any of the other blockbusters.
This is the first film to be distributed theatrically wide in the US since Pokemon 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like even then, like I don't think.
But that was 2000, the year 2000, and there's been an animated Pokemon movie every year since.
Yes, and also I don't think they were still limited though, right? Like I don't think those.
I feel like those were wide releases.
Oh, they were.
Or at least some level of wide release, as opposed to like the one-time showing with like the new whatever the movie it was that rebooted the anime or whatever, but the anime's still running.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And Pikachu talked in that one, and
my point is that those movies, the Pokemon animated movies, were definitely more extensions of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely, Detective Pikachu is definitely more aiming for a larger general demographic. Like, not just Pokemon fans, but, like, your average moviegoer, too.
Yeah.
Which I don't think any of the other Pokemon movies have done. I think mostly they were targeting... Yeah. I mean, like, maybe to some degree they were targeting, like, your average kid, but... let's put it this way. Detective Pikachu... The difference between the other Pokemon animated movies, and Detective Pikachu is basically like the difference between Transformers, the 86 movie, and the BAAACK. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, yeah.
In the sense of who they're trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, granted...
I mean...
What?
That's a very bad comparison, because Detective Pikachu and the BAAACK movies are not. They're not.
No, I'm not saying that the BAAACK movies and Detective Pikachu are similar.
No, but they're not even necessarily going for the same audiences.
No, but they're not. But I'm saying like Transformers the movie was more for people who had seen the animated series.
Yeah.
And like little kids in general, versus the BAAACK is more wider appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of the same dynamic with Detective Pikachu versus the animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Pikachu is trying to bridge the gap, trying to put Pokemon as a more generalized, consumed IP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's able to be a bit more successful in that regard because Pokemon is already pretty well recognized to a general extent. General fan culture. And it's like people will know who Optimus Prime is, but that's about it. And Bumblebee and Megatron and Starscream, but that's probably it.
Right. And I mean, to be fair, there might be more people who know about the Transformers because of the BAAACK movies than...
Very true.
Than the cartoon. I mean, even I don't even know if the cartoon like captured as wide of an audience as Pokemon did.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting.
At its height. I mean, like, granted, I wasn't alive in the 80s. No. I can't tell you these things, but nope. I don't think Transformers has as much of an audience as Pokemon does. No matter I mean, I don't know how much, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I getcha.
Granted, like I said, I could be totally wrong, and if I am, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the feeling I get anyway. Anyway,
Anyway,
so
I
let's
should
start with
probably
the
tell
background
people
here.
what I've seen movie-wise.
Yeah, what is your movie experience with the Pokemon?
So
With the
I've
Pokemon.
basically seen everything up until the Generation 5 movies.
Okay.
Because I definitely saw the Mewtwo's, I definitely saw the Lugia, the Entei, the Celebi, the Latis. That was 5. And then the Jirachi movie, and then the Deoxys Rayquaza movie, Destiny Deoxys, and then Manaphy and the Lucario films, and the ones with the Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, and Arceus, which were definitely starting to show weakness. And then I wasn't even I couldn't be bothered with the Unova anime. After
I've heard a lot of people saying it's pretty crappy.
it's such bullcrap. And they bring it back in Gen 6 a bit, and then Gen 7 is like apparently amazing.
Oh wow.
Gen 7's apparently amazing. Um, Gen 6 still sucks though because Ash didn't win the league.
Oh my god.
When he had it dead to rights.
Man.
Anyway, this movie, Detective Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Where do we want to start? Do we just want to start talking about what we thought of the plot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever you want to start. Wherever
Sure.
you think the best place
Let's
to
talk
start.
plot because I mean it's a pretty straightforward plot for a detective film.
Yeah.
Father goes missing. Partner helps the son find the father. There's intrigue. There's twists. The kind of obvious twists, but twists nonetheless.
Yep. I to be fair, I really don't think like the plot was really the main focus of this
Oh, absolutely not.
movie. Like it definitely like look, I'll be upfront about it. I liked this movie. I don't think it's like given like the best animated movie, like the best blockbuster I've seen. I don't think it's breaking any big boundaries really. If anything, it's more of like a proof of concept kind of thing.
I mean, it is breaking boundaries because it's a film based on it's a live action film based on a video game that's actually good.
Yeah, which didn't really have a big bar to jump there.
No,
but wait, what? As we all know, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is totally going to change that, right, guys? Right. Totally right.
Are you ready to go see Sonic the Hedgehog the movie in theaters on Valentine's Day, folks?
Oh my god. I don't want to see that movie. I want it to crash and burn.
Same.
Man. Anyway, so what I'm trying, so basically the plot is very by the numbers, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. They do it well, you know what I mean, like they do the plot well, but they don't they do the plot well, but okay, I have a question to ask you though.
Yes.
Do you think they casted a black lead to turn people off the scent of the twist at the end?
I don't know.
Do you think if they had, if I forget the main actor's name, Jason somebody?
Justice Smith.
There we go, Justice Smith. Do you think if they had casted Justice Smith with like say insert white actor, Tom Holland. Let's just put Tom Holland in Justin Smith's place. If they cast someone like Tom Holland, do you think the twist would have still been preserved, or do you think people would have been thinking that faster? Or do you think because it's Justice Smith, they were like, well, we'll cast him so that, like, people are thinking his dad is black and not...
Yeah, because as unfortunate of an
Right.
assumption that is, it is a generalized assumption.
Yeah. Because that's honestly, that's the first thing that I thought as soon as they like revealed the twist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so that's why they casted. I was like, is that why they casted a black actor? Is that why they went?
I mean, Justice Smith definitely did a good job in the role. So.
Oh no. Okay. Full disclosure, I'm not trying to diss Justice here. Like, I think he did really well. I think I totally bought him in the role.
Yeah.
I think that he was given it 110%.
But
I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking more like the motivation behind the casting might have been partial. Like it could have been that they casted him because they thought he was just good for the role.
Yeah.
And my cynicism here is unfounded, but I also think part of me wonders if that was also a big part in the decision.
But I do think that twist being in the film is part of the reason why they didn't cast they while they considered him, they didn't end up casting Danny DeVito. Because I don't think I could have taken that seriously. Just saying.
Danny DeVito and his estranged son.
Yeah. Mostly just for, like, the reveal at the end. Like, I don't...
I mean, I feel like Danny DeVito could do... Because, like, okay, I have seen Danny DeVito do a less serious role before. Or not less serious, a less comedic role before.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think people imagine Danny DeVito as just a funny man.
No, yeah.
Who...
Really I'm not saying in regards to his acting abilities at all. I'm just saying at the very end when we literally see that Danny DeVito is Tim's father, I couldn't take that seriously. I just
poor Danny DeVito.
Wouldn't believe it. Also with how, like, they stage everything, like Danny DeVito has a distinct body shape, so it would be a little...
He does.
Obvious for, like, when they were, like, hiding, like, the face and the major parts of the body to be like, who is, from trying to keep us from seeing the father. It would have been a little more obvious.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. But I do want to applaud the film in the way of hiding the twist so well. The fact that it wasn't Mewtwo that crashed the car, but it was the Greninjas.
Yeah.
And also, like, how well they hid the father's face from everything, and it felt, like, sensible.
Yeah. I mean, like, did you, like, when did you start seeing where it was going?
Well, with the father thing, I didn't, like, fully figure it out until, like, I didn't think of it until we got to, like, Mewtwo turning everyone into Pokemon bit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it took me a little longer, but I did joke that somehow Pikachu was going to be his father.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it seriously, and I've completely forgot that until it actually happened. I'm like, wait, what? But I
was kind of feeling it, since they were making like, since they were making so many strides to hide the father's face from us, I was like, I feel like the only reason why they're hiding his face is to, like, and we don't see any pictures of him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I think the second time they didn't show us his face in any video footage, I was like, okay, something's up with the father. Then that's probably where the twist is going to center. So
yeah.
But I mean, like,
I think
it's not a guessing game, so I'm not gonna hold you against that.
Oh yeah. But, like, what I do specifically want to point out, like, I genuinely thought that, like, I had clearly seen what the attack was on the car, and I'm like, wait, what? But I thought we saw the strike, and then it's like, oh no, because with the security camera footage that Tim is shown by Ken Watanabe, there's a glitch when it happens, and we don't see anything, not even the Greninja present. And I'm like, holy crap, that was okay. Because I could have sworn I saw something, and my memory just pieced it together that like, yep, that was a thing. Mewtwo did it. And I'm like, wait, what? No, and then genuinely did not. So it was good. Ken, what?
Yeah.
What?
I think it's Watanabe.
Watanabe. I'm sorry.
I think so.
I'm sorry, Ken. I butchered your name.
It's okay. I don't hold it against you. I promise.
And I will also say, like, a lot of like the framing of shots was really good. The cinematography in the film.
Yeah,
was good.
It was pretty. It was tight. It definitely showed us a lot of things. I think the thing that I liked the most was seeing all the different cool little details about the way the Pokemon lived. I think my favorite shot in that regard was the Joltik climbing along the wires.
Yeah.
Like the telephone pole wires.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool because they're attracted to electricity. Yes. So like that's a really cool detail. So I really like that. I think Rhyme City is a cool location.
Yeah.
And it definitely fits within the whole general, like, sort of the, like, vague universality that I think Pokemon games go for in terms of their locations. Like, obviously, Pokemon games and the Pokemon anime and all those things do definitely have you can definitely tell when a place is based on a specific part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you can tell that Unova, like, you can tell that Castelia City is based on New York City, or you can tell that, you know, the Kalos region is based on France. Like, it's not, they're not, like, hiding their tracks, but I do think that there's an essence to the Pokemon universe that kind of makes it, Rhyme City, to me, at least, feels not as, like, tied to a location as maybe some of the Pokemon games do.
I agree with you, and I think most people outside of the UK would agree with you. But from what I've heard from people that live in the UK, it's just like, oh, hey, look at all these buildings I recognize because I passed by them on my way to work.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's the case with, like, if there's a movie that's taking place in any, like, place you live in, you know, like, I live right near New York City, so the Avengers climax, it's like, oh, look, there's the Empire State Building, which I've seen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. Like obviously the place where if you can tell, you can sometimes tell when something is filmed in a certain location if you live there.
Yeah. Though granted, that one was definitely intended to be New York City, but I'm splitting hairs here.
You're okay. Yeah, so I really liked that aspect of it. I think I really like how they I thought the lab with I think the coolest scene in terms of, like, action was probably the whole the whole Torterra bit with, like, the Torterras coming out of the ground and, like,
you mean the first instance of Dynamaxed Pokemon?
Sure, I guess if you want to call it that.
They just figured out how to make it permanent. That's going to be a plot in the game. You wait. I'm kidding.
I thought that was really cool. I mean, like, I obviously, like, I called what the reveal was going to be in terms of why the landscape was so weird.
I mean, I did too. Because
like, they established the Torterra.
Yep.
They mentioned that they were trying to make them grow.
Yep.
And then
and I'm like, wait, they made them grow that big?
Say that again?
And I was like, the only thing I was like, oh, wait, they're how big?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing those
entries have talked about them being looking like continents moving, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I just remember seeing that trailer and being like, I have absolutely no idea what's causing the ground to go up like that. And then this happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, yeah. I don't know if we were supposed to not know what was happening,
No, yeah, but I was like, with how the land was shaping, I was so confused because it kind of looked like it was going in on itself, like in Inception.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool, like, effects driven scene.
Oh yeah.
I liked that a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it I don't think it ultimately was kind of pointless, except for the fact that we needed a reason for Pikachu to get hurt.
Yeah.
That was literally
But
the
like that
reason
was a
why that
cool
scene
way to do
existed.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it in terms
Yeah.
of, as far as like, if I were to like trim the story to just like make everything necessary, I probably would be like, that could go,
Mm-hmm.
in theory.
Yeah.
Glad to see that they're keeping up with the fact that Mewtwo is God.
Yes.
He's pretty much just artificial God.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the strongest Pokemon in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well,
even though
maybe
Silvally is sitting right there.
Say what?
Even though Silvally is sitting right there trying to be actually artificial God.
Right, yeah. But, yep.
Yeah.
I really do like, I really do like, the way that they showed Mewtwo, and I don't think his like powers were breaking canon at all, because Mewtwo has had a lot of like ridiculous powers assigned to him.
I mean,
canon.
the amnesia thing is straight up canon.
Yeah.
The putting souls in the Pokemon one, I don't think that's been established before. Maybe the manga touched on it a bit, but like I think in that he was like tied to a human genetically or something.
Yeah.
But like I'm willing to buy it. I mean he's a genetic master and a mind master, so like I could see that.
Yeah, and like again, Pokemon. I mean, like Mewtwo has had a lot of weird powers assigned to him throughout the canon, so
Yep.
Why not, right?
Yeah, like him summoning a gigantic spoon.
Yeah, and beating people with it or something.
Yep.
I haven't actually read all that much of the Adventures manga.
Yeah.
I think I have the first 2 volumes. I'm looking at my my bookshelf, and it looks like the volumes are hiding, so I can't actually see, but I think I have like the first 2.
Okay.
Anyway, so I think so actor wise, what do you think? I think everyone did pretty well. I think Ryan Reynolds actually did really well.
Yeah.
Not that I think he wouldn't have done very well, but I think he definitely played it a lot better, because like my fear was that he would have played it too close to Deadpool, but he didn't. He played Detective Pikachu as his own character, so that was really nice.
Yes.
And you better bet your butts that in the next Deadpool movie he will reference the fact that he played Pikachu.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like I would be surprised if he didn't.
Oh yeah. There wasn't a weak actor in the cast, I don't think.
No. The news reporter chick, I think, was definitely you could tell she just loved being there.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she was probably just like 1,000 times like, I'm in a Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like her first role, and that's why she was really excited, and maybe she doesn't care about Pokemon, but that's the vibe I got from her when I saw her.
Let's see. Catherine Love Newton, American actress, best known for her role as Allie Pressman in the Netflix series The Society.
Okay.
She's done stuff.
Yeah.
She's done films. She's done a bunch of films. She's done films since 2002. Well, technically, those were short films. 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, either way, I thought that she was fun.
Yes.
I think the whole bit with Psyduck.
Yep.
Like constantly needing attention and to be calm, or else he might explode. Was really funny.
Yes.
I also thought. So, what did you? I wanted to know what you thought of how the Pokemon looked in terms of the live action.
They looked amazing.
Most
of them. There's like there's a couple, but those ones were the ones that were like hard to translate.
Right.
To not to look like close to their original model, but it was hard to translate that into like a real world thing like Togepi. I remember seeing Togepi and I'm
Right.
like, that looks rough. Because like
Yeah.
how else are you going to design basically the yolk coming out of an eggshell to look in real life?
Right.
Oh.
I thought Gengar looked kind of weird too.
I think it was the I think every time we see like a weird Pokemon, it's just how pronounced their teeth are. Because I agree with you on the Gengar, but it's just the fact that like it has very like distinct teeth, which is accurate to its design.
Right.
Again, like,
but that works better in a minimalist animated style, I think.
No, yeah, absolutely. But like, what were you gonna do? Were you just gonna have its huge, massive grin and it's just looking into its mouth?
Probably not. No. And like I think they did as well as they could.
Yeah, yeah, and again,
they had
Apom, the teeth. It was weird when they were angry. I mean, like they looked really cute when they weren't like mad.
Right.
And Mewtwo was completely fine until Ben Nye, not the science guy, took over Mewtwo's mind and started talking through his mouth, and you could see the human teeth in Mewtwo's mouth.
Right, yeah.
That's the problem with taking anything cartoony and bringing it into the real world. It's the teeth in things that aren't human.
Yeah.
It's always the problem.
But like, honestly, I think...
Yeah.
No, continue.
But, and I mean, like, Mewtwo is very minimal because he has a small mouth. But, like...
He does, yeah.
And also, again, I could give Gengar a pass because he's supposed to be, creepy because he's a ghost.
That's fair. Yeah.
I was still definitely perturbed, but I'm like, I mean, I should be perturbed. If I wasn't perturbed by, a gaseous ghost, I think there's something wrong.
Right. Okay, so the other thing too is I think excuse me, sorry, I'm thinking. So I mean, I think they did as well as they could with the live action, and there weren't any times where I was taken out of the movie from any like weird design choices. I do think, however, that the Pokemon do look better in the 3D, in the outside of this kind of look, Like if you were to give me the option of live action design versus animated, like cartoony style, I'd prefer the cartoony style because I think it.
Oh, I agree.
The look better.
Yeah, because it's also what they were designed for.
Yeah.
So of course it's gonna work better, but I do very much appreciate how some of these designs turned out.
Yeah, me too.
Like I didn't know Golurk was supposed to be on like I didn't know like Golurk was supposed to be like steaming from his like cracks all the time, and that was a cool detail.
Yeah. And then the other thing, I do also appreciate the fact that they added a mix of different generations of Pokemon.
Yes, there was a representation from literally every single generation. Though Generation 4 got the short stick technically because it literally only had Torterra as a rep.
Yeah. Which is, fine.
But there was at least one Pokemon from each generation that, like, you could pick out of the crowd and be like, yep, that was important. Because, I mean, you got all the Gen 1 ones, obviously. Wait, Gen 2, was there a good rep from Gen 2?
Togepi.
Okay, I wouldn't call that one good, per se.
That was more of a cameo, you mean?
Yeah. I'm talking like Charizard or Loudred or...
Sneasel?
Well, yeah, Sneasel was there.
Sneasel was there.
Yeah.
As far as in a major scene, I don't know.
Yeah. Because, I mean, granted, I'm also, like, putting Pancham and Pangoro there, though granted, like, we do get lots of good close-ups on, like, Pancham and Pangoro a few times in the film. Yeah. Mm-hmm. While Togepi's just kind of, like, in the corner. Though Sneasel, you do see Sneasel a fair few times, so I guess that one, yeah. And then there's obviously the Morlul scene with the Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon that put in prominent spots. Like, we had Braviary and Boufflant. When
Yep.
when the Boufflant could have easily been a Tauros.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and I like it.
Yep. So yeah, I think that I really liked the way that the Pokemon looked. I also really liked seeing like the advertisements in the background and how they incorporated Pokemon designs into them.
Yes.
I thought that was really a nice detail.
Yes.
And then okay, so I'm trying to think of other things. What? So okay, do you have any like? I'm trying to think of something else I wanted to bring up.
I had a thing. Okay, here's an onion I have.
Sure.
So, like, the thing that's brought up is, like, Detective Pikachu says, like, hey, we can talk to each other. You can talk to humans. I can talk to Pokemon. Imagine all of the great work we can do, like, detective-wise. Like, look at all this great stuff. And that's, like, part of the thing from the video game. It's, like, this is how it works. Because, like, I'll be the human correspondent. You'll be the Pokemon correspondent. And we'll compare notes. And then we can get a lot of good cases solved that way. But, like, throughout this film, that doesn't happen. The only time that would really come up was when they were interviewing Mr. Mime. But because he's a mime,
right,
Tim was able to communicate with him. And in fact, he communicated with him better than Pikachu.
Right, they didn't really utilize that aspect of him all that much.
Yeah, even though it was a thing that was like called out, it wasn't used that much.
Mm-hmm.
The most we really saw like Pikachu actually talking with Pokemon, honestly, was with the Psyduck. And Psyduck being like, wait a minute, you can talk to the kid? I'm like, yeah, I can talk to the kid. He can talk to me. It's a thing we got.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't have much out of that besides like him being like Tim's like shoulder pal.
Yep.
I mean, I'm definitely downplaying the role because like there's a lot of good chemistry in all the scenes where they're working together, but like it doesn't necessarily feel like
yep,
with how everything's structured beyond like the fact the reveal of like Tim Goodman's father being Pikachu. There's nothing that necessarily necessitates that his partner's a talking Pikachu.
Wait, say that again?
There's nothing in the film itself beyond like the plot twist reveal at the end that Pikachu is Tim Goodman's father that necessarily necessitates Pikachu being there as opposed to like a regular person.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's a major complaint. I'm just saying that bit as an observation.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, and I guess, I mean, obviously, I think that it would have been nicer if the plot had been a little more interesting, just in like the general sense for me.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that's like a count against the movie necessarily.
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes
a nice, like I said, a nice, how did I say it? Like a good like test run for Pokemon. Can Pokemon work as a good blockbuster? And I think it did prove it, and I'd be interested in seeing like where they'll go next from that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I do think it was smart for them. Like, I feel like there are going to be some Pokemon fans who are, like, a little miffed that they didn't, like, go for, like, the real stuff, you know, like I try to adapt, like...
But you can't.
But the game, but, like, yeah, like, Detective Pikachu, I think the reason why they did this spin-off as, like, the adaptation is because it's a little more accessible. It doesn't have the weird RPG mechanics.
Yep.
You don't have to... And, like, we did see a little bit of battling.
Yeah, but it was all underground. We also got to see a Pokeball and how it works in this world.
Yeah, so that was fine. But, like, also, it was just... I don't know. It makes sense to me at least because they're
Yes.
definitely going for a general audience, so they didn't want to like bog them down with like weird details about how the Pokemon universe works.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis the games, so that makes sense.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah. Also, who would have thought Mr. Mime would have been the least creepy Pokemon in the film?
Say that again?
Who would have thought Mr. Mime would have been the least creepy Pokemon in the film?
I didn't have any problems with Mr. Mime.
No, absolutely not. Ditto was the freakiest. Not like the Ditto form, because it straight up had the beady eyes in all of the forms, even its human forms.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy. Although the thing, yeah, like I don't know, I don't really understand why people find Mr. Mime that creepy. Like I think Mr. Mime's very weird.
I think it's mostly
he's an odd Pokemon, but I don't think he's creepy.
I think it's just the general association of mime clown thing, because clowns are horrifying, because Stephen King ruined clowns with It. Or maybe just too much of an uncanny valley thing compared to the other Pokemon, but in the real world it didn't come off so creepy. Just shady because he's an informant on the docks,
right?
Yeah. Oh wait, Gen 2 Snubble. Snubble's.
Oh yeah, Snubble. That's Gen 2.
Yep. Snubble's Gen 2, Torterra's Gen 4, Greninja's Gen 6. There are just a lot of Braviary Gen 5. And then, yeah, so at least one Pokemon from each generation got a solid rep in the film.
Right.
Solid recognition. Cool. Anyway, also Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I have too much else to say about this movie. Like I said, it's pretty basic in terms of like
yes,
what's happening and like how I expected it. I'm really happy that it worked out.
Yeah, I'm very glad it worked out, and absolutely I agree what you said, what other people have said. To make the first Pokemon live action movie, this is probably the best way to do it. To not it really be Pokemon, but like another thing just with Pokemon involved, to
I
think have the Pokemon still be there, but like it to be more accessible.
Yeah, and I think this movie also shows the flaws in things like The Lion King and Sonic the Hedgehog, at least from what we see for the trailers.
Yeah.
Like, Sonic the Hedgehog's design failed because it was trying too hard to not be like Sonic.
Yes.
Like, it was basically a human body with the hedgehog hair. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And it felt like it had to, like, look like a person in order for it to work, but you know, having a more cartoony design would have been fine.
Yeah.
And I think Pokemon leaned into that. They knew that the Pokemon are cartoony, but like that's part of what makes them work.
Yes.
Not what
I'm so glad there's the direction of don't mess with the proportions.
Yeah. And also I think the Pokemon Company is pretty like, so there was one thing that I saw. So one of the YouTube channels that I watch is Folding Ideas, which is a YouTube critical analysis show, kind of in the same vein as Lindsay Ellis, but not really.
Okay.
I think his scope is a little bit broader than movies. But I think he did a really quick like overview of. He did a video about Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and when he did a quick statement on the idea of if this movie is like the best video game movie, and the thing he pointed out was that this movie was kind of set for success in a way that other video game franchises aren't, in that Pokemon is very much a multimedia franchise as opposed to just being a video game franchise. I mean, I think people think of Pokemon as a video games first.
Yeah.
But they've had success in pretty much a ton of different venues. They've had success with the anime. They've had success in they do have movies under their belts.
Yes.
I mean, it's not live action, but they do have movies. Trading card games, video games, manga, novels too. Like, I know they've seen some easy readers for Pokemon. So like they've branched out into different media. So Pokemon was never like, it's not like with I don't know, Tomb Raider, where like really the only thing that Tomb Raider is a game.
Yeah.
There was not a Tomb Raider ever really a Tomb Raider like card game or Tomb Raider novel or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog is probably more, at least in concept, primed to do what Pokemon did.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog has had TV shows, and I think they've had like animated movies, and also the Sonic the comic is a thing. So I think if Sonic Hedgehog could do what Pikachu did, but I think the people at Paramount who are running this are not really looking at it in the same way that the Pokemon Company are.
Yeah.
And then, or like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, another video game that was recently turned into a movie. That one is also like pretty much only a video game. Like, there aren't any other properties or any other really successful other media things that came out of that. So in some ways, Pokemon is sort of an exception in the sense that it not only has a experience working in multimedia, but in some ways was conceived to work in different medias. And that's not to say that it's not awesome that there is a good video game movie now, but I think that's a fair point, that like Pokemon as a franchise is, at least among most of the other franchises that exist in video games, Pokemon is probably one of the best cases to have a live action movie. Like, it has the most going for it. And then the other thing I was going to say is that then with The Lion King, I reacted poorly to those trailers because I thought that The Lion King was trying too hard to make the animals look real. Mm-hmm. And I saw a post on Tumblr that compared the lions from that to Aslan from the Narnia movies, and Aslan looks way better than these lions do.
Yeah. Which
is weird. Which like, I mean, it's weird because I mean, like, Aslan's a major character in that movie, but he's like, but like he has expressions. You know, he looks like he's really there. And I think the Lion King, like, I don't know. Just something about the way that those animals look just is kind of weird. And the expressions look kind of odd. They seem very unexpressive, which is tough when you're doing a movie that's supposed to have expressions. And like Pikachu can do that because it has those big ears and it's more cartoony, so you can allow that expression that doesn't look uncanny.
Yes.
Doesn't look like you slapped a human face on an animal. So, I mean, so yeah. Sorry, that's a little bit of a long tangent, but I think what really makes this movie shine for me is that it just does a really good job.
Yeah.
And while it's nothing that I would say is like groundbreaking or like worthy of a million Oscars, I do say that it's definitely like, I'd give it like a solid B rating. Like solid.
Yeah.
What rating would you give it?
Yeah, I'd say about that. Very solid, very good movie, very fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got anything else to say? Because I think I'm good.
No, I think that summarized it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess. So then we're done. We're done. I forget how we end the podcast. It's been so long. Thank you.
Where
Okay.
people can find me.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed, you can check out Alyssa. Where are you?
So I am on Twitter at The Rational Dove, if you want to check me out. And that's where I am most of these days. Yeah. So give me a tweet or something. Shout out a tweet.
Yeah.
Tell me how happy you are that we're back.
Yes. Please do that. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. You can also check us both out on our gaming channel, RDSJ Gaming, where we are currently playing through Pokemon Coliseum. And please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack and Alyssa signing off.